Okay, you guys, I wanted to put together a fairly short video about how to draw in the subject property. I sent all of you a deed, and the deed has the legal description for the subject parcel. This deed is we're going to draw it off to the side, and then we're going to move it and rotate it because the bearing reference is not the same as sewer pack's bearings. So we're going to match sewer pack. We're just going to draw this parcel over here to the side. This is similar to what we had to do with the Dale Lee Acres plat. So I'm just looking at the legal description right now, and it says commencing at the northwest corner of the southeast quarter of the section. So we all should remember that that would be this point right here. Sorry, I'm not very good at drawing arrows, but that's my arrow, and that's the point it's referring to. So I'm going to start with line by bearing. This whole thing can be drawn with create line by bearing. I'm going to pick a spot over here where I've got some blank area, and I'm going to choose that first point. Now, my first bearing is southwest, so I'm going to choose the southwest quadrant. And the bearing angle is 1 degree, 4 minutes, 22 seconds. So I'm going to type that in as 1.0422. Okay, now it knows the direction, it wants a distance, and that distance, is exactly 556 feet. And that is called the lead-in line. That goes from the point of commencement to the point of beginning of the parcel. So now we're going to draw 4 lines, very simple. The first one is north, 85 degrees, 40 minutes, 14 seconds east. I choose the northeast quadrant, 85.4014. And then that distance is 1119.74. The next bearing is south 1 degree 23 minutes 32 seconds west. So I choose southwest 1.2332. The distance is 645.40. The next bearing is also southwest, so I'll choose southwest quadrant. This time it's 89.2632. And we should all remember that Civil 3D recognizes that input as degrees, minutes, and seconds. Now this distance is 1111.62. We've got one more line to draw. This one, it says thence north, same bearing as before, north 1 degree, 4 minutes, 22 seconds east. So I'm going to choose northeast quadrant, 104.22. And that final distance is 571.60. Okay, that's it. So I'll just end out of the drawing program. This is my shape. I'm going to zoom in here, though. I expect that there will be some small misclosure here, and if I zoom in enough, I can see it. There it is. Before I go any further, I want to do a distance command. DI is the command alias for distance, and I'm just going to use my shift right-click endpoint object snap, and I'll do the same thing again, shift right-click endpoint. And it doesn't even tell me what the distance is there. It's so small. I'll change my units real quick. Normally I want surveyor's units for angle and nearest second, and I'll change the precision for length to be, let's say, 4 decimal places. Now I'll say OK, And I'll do that distance check again here. DI for distance. And I'm going from this endpoint to this endpoint. So I get 0.0019 feet, roughly 2/1000ths of a foot, which is negligible. So I'm just going to clean it up a little bit by I'm going to simply move this line from its endpoint to here. That cleans up that corner, but of course I created a little issue down in this corner, and since I know that that misclosure is so small, I'm simply going to fillet these two lines with 0 radius. So F is the command alias for fillet, and right away I'm going to check and make sure that my radius is set to 0. So I right click, choose radius. Radius is set to 0, and I'll just fillet these two lines. Okay, so now I have a closed figure. I still have to move it and rotate it, however. So I'm going to say move, and I'm going to select all 5 of these lines. And of course, this point here is actually the northwest corner of the southeast quarter. So I'm going to move it onto there. The problem is that we have here is that our bearing reference isn't the same. I need to rotate this parcel onto our section line to finish up here. So I'm going to say rotate. I choose my rotate command here. Now here's a little trick. I don't want to go in there and select those lines. I'm just going to hit P for previous selection set. And there I have it. I've got all those 5 lines again. My base point will be the northwest corner of the quarter section. So now I've got this thing spinning like this here. And I'm going to right click at this point and choose reference. Now I have to specify the reference angle. And the reference angle will be the endpoint here. And if I come down here, I can see that this endpoint is a little bit away from the section line. So I'm going to choose this endpoint. And now you can see what's going on here. And I'm just going to, my new angle, I'll use sorry, I bumped out of the command there. Rotate, P for previous. I'm going to say reference. I think you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to choose this endpoint, and then my new angle will be, I'll use a nearest object snap, and I'll just snap to the section line. So now it's rotated onto our section line. So that's the idea. I hope you guys can accomplish that without too much trouble, and I'll be talking to you in the near future. Thank you.